Hi everyone, I'm Laz, the creator of Sly Foxes board game. In this video I'm gonna talk about the rules of the game, because let's face it, who likes reading rulebooks anyway?
Cards are separated into two decks, attack and defense cards. In the beginning, each player gets 3 of those. Also, they have 3 lives and get 1 secret character. When it's your turn, you either decide to attack someone or draw a card. There are 2 main types of attacks: gossip and traps. There are also universal attacks which you can use as gossip or trap. From the defense cards, you have facts that can be used against gossip, you have caution that you use against traps, and universal defense that you can use against any of these cards. When attacking another player, you first start with 1 card, let's say gossip. You say who you're attacking and read it out loud. Don't blush, I know you farted. Then the other player can defend himself with facts. That's absolute nonsense. In this case, you're equal, but if you have more attack cards, then you can stack on them. Let's say I continue and put a universal attack, but here's a ninja deer. If that player doesn't have another card to defend, then they lose 1 of their lives and get 1 of these cards, so they've been gossiped. It's important to note that you cannot mix gossip with traps. That's important because in order to eliminate a player, they have to collect 3 of these cards, and 1 of them should be different. So if they have been gossiped 2 times, then you cannot gossip at them. You have to get them in a trap, and vice versa. If they've been in trap 2 times, then you have to gossip. I told you that there are secret characters. Okay, let's check. Let's say that... Okay, give me a second. Let's say this player is a gossip fox. Then they can use their card for defending themselves against gossip. But if this person is also a gossip fox, but they're not, they're master of traps. But let's say they're gossip fox, they can also give it as an attack. You have to know though that you cannot use this card as the first card in a turn. So I cannot start with my secret character and say I'm attacking you. You can use this as a second card, third card, etc. At the end of a turn, the secret character you give back to the person who owns it, and you discard the other cards here in front of each deck. You have to put them to the corresponding deck though. There are also special cards. In the defense deck, for example, you have the I don't care card. The I don't care card acts as an insurance against someone attacking you. It doesn't count as a turn, and you can give it at any given moment except when you're under attack. So before you're under attack, you can give this card, put it in front of you and say that you don't care. This card is active until it's your turn again. So when it's your turn, you get it here to the discarded cards and either draw a card or attack someone. There is another special card in the attack deck. It's called a nosy weasel. It gives you the opportunity to interfere in someone else's turn. So let's say we're back in this situation where you're 2 against 2 and another player decides to interfere. So for example, they can give this card with... They need a gossip. Traps? No, I don't need traps. Weasel? No. Let's say they have another gossip and give it with the nosy weasel. So they help this player attacking this one, and now the attack is successful and this player gets gossiped. And because foxes are really sly, there are a few smart tactics that you can do during the game. You know that these cards that are discarded, you can actually exchange 2 cards from your hands that are the same for 1 card of the corresponding deck. So if you want to exchange 2 traps, they are from the attack deck, so you can exchange them with 1 card from these here. Let's say I want a weasel, or I want a universal attack, so I give these 2 traps and get it. You can do that at any given moment and it doesn't count as a turn, but then again it shouldn't be during someone attacking someone else. You have to do it before that. Another principle of the Sly Foxes is having a minimum and maximum of cards that you can hold in your hand. Let's say in the end of the turn you end up with 1 card. There's a minimum of 3 cards that you have to have. So at the end of the turn I'm with 1 card, so I draw 2 cards from a deck. It doesn't matter which one. There's also a maximum of cards, and that's 9. So let's say that I have, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. You can challenge another player at any given moment if you think that they have more than 9 cards. And if that's true, then you draw cards from that player until they end up with 9. So in this case I have 11, then the other player can draw 2 cards. 11 minus 2, now I have 9 cards, that's fine. But if I have 9 or less and a player challenges me, then I get to draw 1 of their cards. So be careful when challenging other players. So let's now play a few turns. It's player number 1. They decide to draw a card from the attack deck because they have a lot of defense cards but only 1 attack card. So they draw a card. This player decides to play it safe and draw a defense card. This player draws a card, then plays I don't care. So now the other 2 players cannot attack them. It's this player again, they want to attack and they can attack only that player. So they start with a gossip. I saw a weasel visiting you at midnight. Oh my. That's absolute nonsense. Okay, but the big bad wolf dressed as your grandma is coming to get you. Oh, but that's ridiculous. Then, let's say that this player is a gossip fox. So they use this card as a gossip and it's 3 against 2. This player cannot defend, so they get a gossip card. This get discarded, this you get back, this get discarded, and it's this player's turn. They are just above the minimum, 3 cards. So at the end of the turn they don't draw a card, now it's their turn, they decide to draw a card. Now this is not active anymore and it's this player's turn. They decide to draw from these cards, this one draws, this one draws again. Now this player is attacking player number 1. I saw you sniffing around Bunny's place. You wish, but the beaver cuts down your tree. What you gonna do about that? Ah. This is a bloody lie, it can be true. Now this player decides to help, and they play the nosy weasel together with an attack card. Hunt, here's an ninja deer. But this player is super prepared, so they have hoot hoot, it's time for plan B. And they don't have other cards for attacking, so they cannot continue. And these get discarded. And it's the end of the turn. In the end of the turn, this player has cards under the minimum, so they draw a card. And the game continues like that.
And now you've played a couple of rounds, I'll be really happy to know what you think about the game. So please share your thoughts in the comment section below. That's all from me, bye!